Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to episode 119 of Driftless Knitting. My name is Jennifer. You can find me on Instagram and on Ravelry as Driftless Knitter. You can find my patterns on Ravelry as well as on driftlessknitting.com and Payhip. And I'm coming to you today on Sunday afternoon, evening-ish. It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and it is August, what day is it? August 14th. So I am here at home, at my home in Wisconsin. We live a little northwest of Madison, Wisconsin, if you know the area. And yeah, it is a gray day today. It is really nice and cool. It is a fantastic day. I've been having a wonderful day that makes me want fall time to get here, like right now. Totally ready for fall. I am so enjoying seeing everybody's like fall collections coming out. Bumblebee Acres just came out with their fall collection and it went on sale on Friday. It's probably entirely sold out by now, but I did manage to snag a couple of skeins. As well as a project bag from them. The project bag is from Hannah Lou Designs. They sell on the Bumblebee Acres website, but yep. Anyway, you'll hear all about that. Actually, I have a couple things to show you from their last update, and then this one was their really big fall and Halloween update. And I was very excited about that. But yeah, that was super fun. That got me in the mood for fall. Lots of other people are kind of coming out with fall themed, like progress keepers and stitch markers and candle scents. And, everyone's like boxes of, fall time. The themes, oh my goodness, I just cannot wait. And then today being so cool, it's been in the 60s, I think, all day today. And I've just been loving it. I've had the windows open. I'm in like leggings and I just want to wear, it's not quite cool enough to wear like a sweater, a cozy sweater, but I'm wishing it were. I might make some tea later. It's just fantastic. I've also been here at home by myself today, which is a bit unusual. Usually I have my almost 2-year-old son with me at home. I work during the week, but on weekends I'll have him here at home, and my husband, but the two of them went to his parents this weekend, and I managed to get a day home by myself, which has been utterly fantastic. I love my family, but I haven't had a self-care day or just a day on my own here at home since like May, I think, and it's been so nice. So I did a little bit of laundry, did a little bit of stuff, around the house. I knit, I cross-stitched. You'll see a little bit of each of those things. I watched the Brewers game this afternoon, which, sadness, we lost. And I have a pizza crust that's rising, so I'm gonna make homemade pizza tonight. So I've just been able to kind of putz around, relax, and, just do things I want to do without having to time it, to my son's nap schedule. And then when he's awake, it's just playtime all the time. So yeah, it's been absolutely fantastic. I've also, you might be able to tell a little bit of a difference in my voice. I am a little bit congested. I've been a little sick the last couple days, but it isn't COVID. I have taken, I've taken so many tests over the last few days. I've probably taken four tests over the last 2 days, 2 to 3 days, maybe like 5 tests total since I started kind of coming down with a little bit of like a scratchy throat. And a little bit of congestion. So I know that at-home tests aren't like super, you can get a false negative. I think the data is so controversial. So I just took a bunch of them to make sure. So I'd take one in the morning before going to work. I'd take one at home, when I got home. I'd take one the next morning. Today I took one this morning before Seaver and Hudson left just to be sure. and they're all coming back negative. So I'm pretty sure all I have is a regular run-of-the-mill cold, which, you know, now that COVID is so prevalent, I at least forget that we can just get normal sickness and it isn't COVID, but yes, it's still possible. So yeah, I just think I have a cold. Seaver and Hudson are both totally fine. I've just kind of gotten a little bit of congestion and little scratchy throat. So if you notice a difference in my voice, it's a little deeper than normal. That's the reason for that. But anyway, let's get on to the knitting and crafting portion of the podcast. Yes, so I have a couple, so I do have a couple finished objects from the last time I podcasted. One of those is not with me anymore because I made it and then gifted it to my cousin's little boy who just turned 1 year old at the beginning of the month. So last weekend we went down to Illinois, which is where I'm originally from, specifically from Marengo, Illinois. If anyone is from the Chicagoland area, it's about an hour-ish west of the city, west of Chicago, and it's kind of near Crystal Lake area. It's a small town. It's not like a suburb. I mean, I don't know if it's considered a suburb now. That just seems weird to me, to think of it as like a suburb of Chicago because it is so far out of the city. But yeah, it's a small town. It's a farming community. There's like, I think 7,000 people is the population, which isn't like super small compared to some of the towns, you know, out there. But yeah, pretty small town. That's where I grew up, and a lot of my family still lives there. And my cousin, who now lives in Indiana, she was back in town with her family, and we all got together for her son's first birthday party. So I knit him an elephant. My cousin Emily loves elephants. She has I think his nursery is elephant themed. She's always been super into elephants, and I actually knit Jonah, her son Jonah, a little elephant hat that she used for his first birthday pictures. Or not first birthday, his newborn pictures. And I thought it would be really cute to knit him a stuffed elephant for his first birthday. So I found a pattern on Ravelry called the Elephant Snuggler, and that is by Carol Hebling. I have it written down because I keep forgetting who designed it, but it's by Carol Hebling, and on the pattern, like the picture itself, it shows the elephant snuggler in two different forms. It shows it laying flat, so no stuffing whatsoever, and then it shows it stuffed. And she says that you can use it as like a lovey, so like a flat, almost like it's not a blanket, but just something to hold on to, like in replacement of a blankie, but it's in like an elephant form. So it's basically like an unstuffed stuffed animal. And then the other way you can do it is actually putting the stuffing in and creating a stuffy. So I just really liked the look of it. It was really sweet, and it had clean lines, nothing too fussy. And I downloaded the pattern. I also loved that it was all done in one piece, which is really awesome. You actually start on the back by doing a Judy's Magic cast on, and then you so you start, you know, with your stitches on the back, and then you go like in the round kind of down the back, and you do like the head and the back side, you do the trunk, and then you do the legs, and then you Kitchener each foot closed, and you kind of, you know, it's more complicated than that. You hold stitches for a while, you know, knit in the round a bit, you go back, but it was really like smooth. I enjoyed knitting it. There was a couple nights where I didn't knit on it because I just needed a little bit more like headspace to read the pattern, and, you know, even though it wasn't as fussy as some stuffed animals, it still wasn't mindless. So I kind of, I put it aside for a couple of nights, and then I, you know, had to go back, and needless to say, I was finishing it in the car on the way to his party. So it's about a 2-hour drive, about an hour 45 if traffic isn't bad, from our house here in Wisconsin down to Marengo. And yeah, in the car, I had 2 legs to finish knitting, and I had to stuff it and then close it up and kind of weave in ends, close up, you know, some little gaps, things like that. And so I was feverishly, you know, going. I also had to wind up, because I forgot to wind up the last skein of yarn. I was winding that up by hand. Thankfully, it was worsted weight. So yeah, I wound that up by hand in the car, and then finished knitting it and stuffing it and all that stuff. We went to my mom's house for about an hour before the party, and I hadn't quite finished it yet, but I was able to while I was there. We were just kind of touching base with my stepdad and hanging out for a little while before the party started. And my mom was out of town, which is why I say that. Anyway, that's detail that doesn't even factor into the story, but yeah, so we just hung out for a little while. I was able to finish that up and put it in the bag and have it ready to go for the party, which was fantastic. It was such a good feeling to get that off my needles and have it just in the bag, ready to go. Don't have to worry about it anymore. Off to its new home. Fantastic. And Jonah loved it. When they opened it, he definitely gave it a big hug and was squishing it a little bit. And yeah, it was great. So hopefully he enjoys that now that it's back at his house with him. It was, one thing I didn't mention was it was double knit. So I used a worsted weight, but I did a double strand of that. So it was quite a good size of an elephant. I will definitely post a picture somewhere in here of it. So hopefully you will have seen that, or you can see it now. And the yarn I used for that was Knit Circus Yarns Ringmaster worsted weight, which is 100% superwash merino wool. And I used the Bedrock colorway, which is kind of a dark gray. I was thinking about knitting it in like a really light powdery blue. I thought that would be really cute. But my coworker convinced me to knit it in the gray, because I didn't want to do, I don't know, for some reason I didn't want to do light gray, but I was going between this like blue and the darker gray, and she's like, do the darker gray, he's gonna get stuff all over this, you know. I'm like, you're right. I'm a mother of a 2-year-old, I should know this, but you know, the light blue just seemed so cute. So I did it in the Bedrock colorway. It turned out great. I did not add any facial features besides the trunk. You are supposed to duplicate stitch eyes onto the elephant, and I did not have thread with me to do that, or like at home. I mean, I did at home. I should have gotten some out of my cross stitch supplies, but I didn't for some reason. And also just didn't have time to mess with it. Like, who cares? He can just not have eyes, not have a face. Who cares? I also didn't add the tail. The pattern calls for strands of yarn to be threaded through the back and then braided with, like, you know, the ends kind of left loose. I didn't want to do that because I knew he'd probably chew on that or suck on that, and just having like loose ends I didn't really want to, I don't know, I didn't really want to do that. I knew it would get kind of gross pretty fast. I didn't want him to get wool and yarn in his mouth. So yeah, left that off too. And I think it was still super adorable. So that is my first finished object. I finished that last Saturday. My second finished object, I actually just finished today. So like I said, I've had the day at home. I've been able to do a little bit of crafting. And I finished the Verdi cardigan. by You Knit Toronto. And I can't remember if I started this the last time I podcasted. I don't think I did. This is for one of my college roommates, had her third baby back in May, I think. I haven't had a chance to see them yet, which is really sad. We have been trying to pin down a date to get together, but as lots of you know, as you become an adult and if you have other responsibilities like a job and kids and all that stuff, it's really hard to get together with people if they're not like next door to you. And even then, it's hard to get together. And also lately, planning things has sort of stressed me out. I have a couple things that I need to like nail down dates for, and I think because other things keep like filling up my free time, today I had the whole day free, but also like trying to schedule in time where I can actually relax. That's important too. But yeah, I have a few things like Hudson's birthday party. He turns 2 on September 8th, and I technically have a date picked out for his birthday party. Have I done much planning? Have I sent out invitations or even like a Facebook invite to? Nope. So I have like a month to get all of that planned, and I just keep putting it off. I have some friends I want to get together with, and I just keep like putting it off. I don't know why. Like planning things has been like stressing me out lately. Weird. I'm hoping that like this like self-care day or whatever it is sort of like resets me and I can kind of take on a little bit of that again. But yeah, I just think things have been busy and but anyway, so I have not been able to see Amber and her family yet. Hopefully in September we can find a date. If not, we might have to push it all the way to October, which stinks. But I knit this sweater for her new little son, and this is her third baby, so she has a couple other knitted items from me from the other two, but this one I thought was super cute. I haven't knit a baby sweater in a while. I haven't even knit Hudson a sweater in a while. It's on my list to knit him a couple for this upcoming winter because he's going to be growing out of the little cardigan that he wore as a coat last winter, so I need to kind of replace that. But this is the Verdi cardigan, like I said, by You Knit Toronto, and I knit this out of Knit Circus Yarns Divine DK, which is 100% merino, superwash merino DK weight. This is the Beacons Are Lit colorway, which has a really sweet grayish blue background and speckles of brown and gold and kind of darker blue. I love this colorway. The sides are curling, which is why I keep trying to like uncurl them, but it's not gonna uncurl until I actually block it. But I just finished the button bands this morning. I'm so happy to have this done. I knit it in the, I think the 6 to 12 month. I'm not sure what the size, but I'm pretty sure it was 6 month size, and that should fit him in. Maybe I knit the 12 month. I may have. I think it was the 3rd size in. So if you're looking at the pattern, I'm pretty sure it was the 3rd size in. Like the 2nd one in the parentheses, if you're at all curious. But yeah, so he's a big boy, and he's just gonna keep growing, and come wintertime, you know, he's gonna be pretty big, and you know, they can roll up the sleeves and it's okay if it's a little bit baggy in the body. And then this is, you know, a nice lightweight, so he can wear it in the fall time, he can wear it in the winter, and he can wear it in the early spring. Here in Wisconsin, it doesn't get warm until like May. So up until, you know, through April, we still need to wear a lightweight, at least a lightweight coat, if not like our winter coats. So hopefully he will be able to get a lot of use out of that. Yeah, so I really liked knitting that. It was really fun knitting like little kid stuff again, baby stuff. It did go pretty quick. I needed to focus a little bit of time on the elephant, and then I also haven't had like tons of knitting time. There's been some nights where I put Hudson to bed and I do a little bit of stuff around the house, and then we go to bed early-ish because, little kid wakes up pretty early, and going off to work and all that stuff. So yeah, there's been nights where I haven't had much knitting to do, or knitting time, and had some other projects to do. So even though that went really quick and I really enjoyed it, it did take me maybe a month to do that. For a while, it's funny, I feel like I've had so many projects cast on and going, I felt overwhelmed, and then all of a sudden I've got the elephant finished, I've got that cardigan finished, and I almost have another work in progress finished, and I feel like there's so much off my plate now. So I'm not sure what I'm going to cast on next, but oh boy, I have been wanting to do some mini skein projects. I've been seeing lots of people's blankets, and I don't know, I've been in the mood to work with mini skeins, and I have so many. So I might transition to that. But I still have another work in progress to show you. This one is almost off the needles. It's the one I was just referencing. And this is the Silverstone top by Crystal Hyatt of Millie's Knit Designs. And I started this one, I don't know what is the back. I think this is the back, yeah. I started this one back in June, and I know I've showed it to you before. I should say this is in one of the original Mountain State Stitches bags. Jenny gifted this to me when I first started podcasting, like 5 years ago, almost 6 years ago, I think. I don't even remember when I started podcasting. It was a long time ago. And she gifted that to me, and I still love it. It's a great size. And this is the Silverstone top, like I said, by Crystal Hyatt. I am knitting this also out of Knit Circus yarns. Can you tell I knit a lot of projects with Knit Circus? And for those of you who don't know, I work for Knit Circus, so that's why it features so much in my knitting. So this is the Busy Bee colorway. It is a beautiful speckle colorway. I was alternating skeins using the what is that technique called? Oh my gosh. It's like on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember. So let me try and describe it. A lot of you probably know what I'm talking about. Helical. I knew it would like pop into my head as I was talking. So it's the helical knitting technique. Grace of Babel's Traveling Yarns has a great tutorial. I'm sure there are others out there, but I watch her podcast and I follow her on Instagram. So I knew she had one, and I had never really done this like technique before, and I was curious because this was just mostly stockinette. I did run into a little bit of issues when I was doing the lace pattern. I had to fudge the helical technique a little bit, but it worked out for the most part. It worked out great. And it's basically where you stop knitting with one strand of yarn about 2 or 3 stitches before like the previous strand, and then you slip those 3 until the stitch that connected your other ball of yarn is slipped over onto your right needle, and then you continue knitting with that one. So the previous ball of yarn is like 3 stitches behind you. You just slip over, you start knitting with your next one, and when you get to your other ball of yarn, you slip again. I'm not describing it well, but go watch those tutorials because they're great, and you will be able to have a visual, and I'm sure it will make so much more sense. But yeah, so it just helped disperse the speckles a little bit. I do think I have a little bit of pooling, which I didn't really notice until holding it up. Here, there's a little bit of pooling probably of some of the speckles, but it doesn't really matter. Yeah, this colorway is just a really, I think, pretty spring colorway. Let me stand up quick. Try and not, can you see? Yeah, so it's gonna be blocked a little bit longer. Right now it hits right, it's below my hip bone. It's like the length of my t-shirt. So if you can see, I'm short. If you can see my t-shirt. So right now it hits about there, a little bit higher, but it'll block out. And then you can see now a little bit better this lace detailing along the side. It kind of staggers down. So you start with like just one section, and then you add sections to both sides, and it gives you this really cool staggered motif. It is a t-shirt, so I did knit one sleeve so far. I cast off the body last night, so the bottom hem is like a 1x1 rib. And I just knit the first sleeve this afternoon while I was watching the Brewers game. And I just have a few more rows to go. This one's still on waste yarn, but it's really not that much knitting to finish the second sleeve. So I'm hoping to get this done tonight. I should have, after podcasting, I should have a little bit more time before the boys get home where I can sit and knit for a little bit longer. So unless something else for some reason takes up my time, I should be able to get this knitting done. And then even if I don't get it done before they come home, Hudson will probably be, asleep by 8-ish. So then I'll be able to knit after that, hopefully. So yeah, I'm really happy with this. I am knitting, I don't think I said what base this is, but it's the Daring DK base. So the Verdi cardigan was out of our Divine DK, which is 100% merino. And then this one is Daring DK, which is 80% merino, 10% nylon, and 10% cashmere. So this one is so soft. I love this base so much. Highly, highly recommend it. And I cannot wait to wear this. I think this is going to be perfect for 60-degree days like today. I kind of wish I had it done today because I would have worn it, but also I think it's going to be great for at work. I don't really see, I don't even know where to put this. Oh, put it back in the project bag. I don't really work with the public face-to-face anymore. We did close our brick and mortar store because we're focusing more on wholesale to other yarn shops and just our online retail store. We're also going to start doing more shows. The company really scaled back on shows when we opened up a brick and mortar, but there's so few of us now. There's not very many of us working for the company right now, and we kind of would rather do pop-up shops and yarn shows and fiber fests rather than having to man a retail store like every weekday or whatever. And we weren't open that much anyway. We were only open like 3 days a week previously. So, but still, our efforts are better spent producing yarn during those times, and then also just having to do all the back end stuff. So all the website, the customer service, everything like that. Yeah. So we transitioned, for those of you who are local or who have shopped at Knit Circus before. So yeah, we're still there. We're still making lots of yarn, and our yarn is going to be in other shops. So if you have a yarn shop, if you happen to be a yarn shop owner, or you work at one, or you just have one that you love and you want to get some Knit Circus yarn into your shop, you could always email me. My work email is jennifer@knitcircus.com, or you can email the company. I will also be responding to those emails, info@knitcircus.com. So, yeah, we are open for wholesale. We just shipped out our first wholesale order to Magpie Knits in Virginia. Thursday, I think it went out in the mail, so that's really exciting. Those of you in the area, I forget what town it's in. If it's, don't quote me. I forget what town it's in, but Magpie Knits in Virginia. So go look them up if you are in that area, and go check out what they've got. And yeah, I'll update you, probably not as regularly as we'll update like the Knit Circus social media and stuff, but I do a lot with, you know, getting those wholesale orders ready. So yeah. Anyway, I do have one more work in progress. I've gotten a little bit more work done on this, but this is like the perpetually unfinished sock that I started this summer. This is like the only sock I've really knit so far this summer, and I'm almost done with the heel, but this is kind of the thing I grab if like I'm in a tricky spot on a different project and I need like a mindless knit, or I'm like the other day, or I guess yesterday, I brought it downstairs with me when I was playing with Hudson. We have a large basement and we have a lot of toys down there, and I play with him and stuff, but then I take little breaks. If he's like building with Duplos or something, I'll sort of sit next to him or by him, and I'll get a little bit of knitting done. So yesterday I actually managed to get most of the heel done, which was exciting during playtime. We were down in the basement for like 3.5 hours or something. He just loves being down there. I think it's just a welcome break from like being upstairs, and yesterday it was like raining on and off, so we didn't go outside as much. He did get a little bit of outside time, but yeah, we just were hanging out in the basement for like 3 hours. But yeah, I got the heel done. I do the Fish Lips Kiss heel. These are done toe up, and there's a light texture on this sock. This is not a published pattern. This is one I've done in the past that I wanted to try out again, and I do think I'm going to be publishing this later on this fall or winter. And yeah, just keep your eye out. I was just thinking about that again today when I was gathering things and thinking about what I was going to talk about. And yeah, I do think this is going to be one that I publish kind of for the holidays, I think. So yeah, keep your eye out for that. But I do a Judy's Magic cast on and just a regular kind of squared off toe. These are done on a US 1 3. I never know the millimeter, 3.25, maybe. And yeah, magic loop. So this is a 40-inch cable, and these are Addy sock rockets, which is my favorite sock needle. I am knitting this out of Bumblebee Acres. This was one of their Jane Austen colorways. This ball is so poofy, oh my goodness. This is the Barton Cottage colorway. So it's a Sense and Sensibility themed colorway. And this is on their Coquette sock base, which is, I believe, 75% Corriedale wool, superwash wool, and 25% nylon. It is, I mean, like, it's just so squishy. This fingering weight is a little bit of a, like, chunkier fingering weight, but, I mean, the sock itself, like, I still knit my usual, like, stitch count and everything like that. It's just fluffy. I think there's a lot of air in the ply. It makes it really fluffy and really cozy, and yeah, it's just really great. I have a bit of their yarn on this base. They also have a, I think, 75-25 merino nylon sock weight. But there's something about the Corriedale, the dye, it just looks, don't know. It looks so great on this base, and it's a little more rustic, but it's still super, super soft and just really warm and fluffy. So I'm looking forward to those. I'm enjoying knitting on them, but it doesn't feel urgent to me. So I'm just kind of picking them up as I go, and as I get them done, just who cares? I'm like, just really, I don't know. Yeah. This is in a Darn Yarn MN bag. Great for summertime. I love the trees, and this, I love this wool. I think these are called wool wedges on Darn Yarn on their website. I haven't really kept up with Darn Yarn, so I'm not sure how many bags she's making right now and where she's selling them. I don't really know, but this is one I got at a show in Chicago, not Stitches Midwest. YarnCon? I think YarnCon in Chicago in like 2019. So that is all of my finished objects. I'm trying to think, should I do acquisitions and then maybe I'll do cross stitch, because technically this is a finished object too. Or not a finished object, oh my gosh, I wish. This is a work in progress. So I have been longing for cross stitch for the last, I don't know how long. Months and months. To me, cross stitch is a lot harder to like do and get progress done on with a small child. I am also a novice when it comes to cross stitch. I used to cross stitch a bit as a kid. It was the first like craft I was taught, and then I learned how to knit and I never looked back. I shouldn't say that. I think I did a couple small cross stitch projects as a kid, like throughout my childhood. And then I tried to pick it up again, started a project, put it down for a couple years, picked that up again, finished, and then started this one. And this was when I was determined I was getting back into cross stitch. It was going to be fantastic. And then I had Hudson and my son, and it's so hard to pick this up now. For me, I need to have a lot of time. I need to sit. I need to have good lighting, because the project I'm doing right now, there's a lot of moving pieces. At least it feels that way to me. There's a lot of color changes. This is the project that I started right before Hudson was born. And I am, well, you'll see, but I got a little bit of work done like before he was born. And then for the last 2 years, because he's almost 2, I've gotten just like a little bit more done. But every so often I pick it up and I get a little bit of progress done. And at some point I will have this finished. But I absolutely love this. I saw it in a magazine that my Oma, my grandmother, gave me. She's the one who has taught me all of my crafts. She's the one that got me started in cross stitch when I was little. She's the one who taught me how to knit and has since, you know, encouraged me and she's incredible. She quilts and knits, and those of you who have watched for a long time, you've heard me talk about her endlessly. But, yeah, she's pretty awesome. I gave her some Patton's sock yarn for, Mother's Day back in May, and I saw her, I mean, I've seen her several times since May, but I think just like 2 weeks ago or something, she brought these socks that she was knitting with the yarn to a get together, and she showed me, and they're beautiful, and she knits toe up 2 at a time. So yeah, she's pretty impressive. She's like 87, I think. Yeah, as long as I can still be doing that at 87, I'll be a happy camper. So yeah, I saw this in the magazine that she gave me when I was interested in getting back into cross stitch, and I was like, I need this in my life. I need it framed up on my wall. It's called Autumn Harvest Girl, and it's everything I want in life. It's woodland animals and fresh produce and a cute apron, and I want to be that person. I kind of am. I don't usually wear outfits like that on the daily, but I think it's super cute. So anyway, I am working my way through. Oh, my needle is about to fall off. Okay. So this is what I have so far. So you can see this is up here is where I started way back when, and I think I got to like here, like the deer, when Hudson was born. And then since then I have been able to work on this, and that has been 2 years of progress right there. But today I filled in some of the squirrel. I did all of this down here. I like filled in his face and his tummy, and I did the flower, and I did just a little bit here. Like I was doing the black of the flower and I didn't want to just cut it. So I came over here and I did a couple stitches there, and yeah, so just kind of, I think I did a little bit of the fox, like a few rows on the fox, but yeah. Super fun. I really, really enjoyed it. This is also kind of just when I can get to it, I'm gonna get to it, and I'm gonna finish it when I finish it. But I would love to have more time and to be more proficient and just be able to work through it a little faster. This is a needle minder by Simply Serving. It's a little letter. So I have my needle there, although the magnet itself isn't the most strong magnet. Anyway, so I'm gonna, yeah, put my needle on the side of the fabric there because I don't want it to fall off in my bag. I have this, oh, I should say, I'm trying to think of all of the floss tubes that I watch and what they say. So I am doing that on 28 count linen, 2/2. So that means I'm using 2 strands and I am going over 2 squares. So if any of you have done cross stitch in the past, if you use like the Aida cloth, which is kind of that stiffer cloth that most of us use in the beginning, some people use it their entire cross stitch career. I think my Oma has only ever used Aida. When I showed her the linen, she's like, oh boy, that looks a little too, that's too fine for me. And I was like, well, I'm gonna just try it. But basically you just go from like one hole to the next. But this one, it's like double. So it's still the same, the stitches are still the same size as they would be on like a 14 count Aida, but it's 28 count linen, so I'm going over 2 holes. I did not know any of that when I started this project, and I had to rip out a little bit because I was doing it completely wrong. I had been watching some floss tubes, and everyone just sort of says like, oh, I'm stitching this 2/2, 1/2, 1/1. I have no idea what that meant. And then I think I was looking in, I was like, I did a little bit, I did a few stitches, and I'm like, this is terrible. What am I doing? How do people knit on, or cross stitch on 40 count? 28 count is bad enough. And then I looked in this magazine, they had like an illustration of what 2/2 was. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm not doing that. So I had to start over. But that's good because what I was doing was completely wrong. So yeah, I'm really enjoying that, and I hope to get a little bit more work done on that sooner rather than later. I'll also say that this is my cross stitch bag. I don't know who made it. It's back in one of my podcast episodes, but I love it. It reminds me of the old style framed like embroidery bags that would like open up and sit on the legs and everything like that. It's got like the wooden dowels for handles. It's got a big, you know, pocket here and plenty of room for everything. Because this is my only cross stitch project, I don't have like individual little sacks or anything like that. So I just keep my project in there with the pattern and everything. I have been really tempted to start other cross stitch projects because I have some patterns. You'll see I acquired a couple patterns lately, but because I just have such little time and I actually do really want to finish this one, I'm holding off. I also don't have a stash of a lot of thread. I don't have any extra fabric or any, so I would have to go out and buy all of that. And so that's also stopping me. And my moments of weakness when I'm like, oh, I really, really want to start this project. I don't have fabric and floss that I can just go kit the project up with. So that's probably a good thing. It's keeping me honest. So anyway, I love that. And since we're talking about cross stitch and I'm going to go into acquisitions, let's show you a couple of the new patterns I got. So this is from, what's the name of the shop? Witchery Stitchery in Mount Horeb, Wisconsin. It is a small little shop, really well stocked. It's not as beautifully curated and decorated as there's another one nearby in Spring Green that's absolutely gorgeous. It's a fabric shop, it's a cross stitch shop. This one's a little bit more like bare bones, but they have rack upon rack upon rack of patterns, and their samples are wonderful, and they're really great there. So I went there a few weeks ago. We were at an art fair and I wanted to stop in. So I think these are all, oh my word, these are all from Little House Needleworks because I have a type and I love Little House Needleworks. I love this one so much. This is called the Farmer's Daughter. Can you see that? I'm just gonna, okay, yeah. Farmer's Daughter, so cute. I love it. Those of you who don't know, my in-laws own a farm. My husband worked on that farm for almost his entire life. He has had a job outside the farm for a while now, but and then my dad actually had a farm for a few years when I was growing up, so we're totally into that sort of lifestyle. As you can see, here's another barn. Here's another farm. So this is Jingle All the Way. Absolutely love this one too. I'm a sucker for barns and for Christmas and for fall. So love that one. And then the rest of these are from the same, what am I trying to say? Like the same line. It's the Fall on the Farm line that is actually still coming out, I think. I think they have a couple more motifs that are going to be coming out. I did not get all of them. I think I'm missing one plus one that most recently came out. So I have the Fruit and Veggie, I guess, Farm Fresh chart number 1. So I guess they're just listed. Yeah, they're just listed as numbers. But this is the Fresh Veggies, the veggie cart. Then I have the Milk Cow. That's number 7. I don't have these in order, so I'm just going to show you because I'm running out of time, I think. I have the quilt, one of the quilt blocks, the acorns. I love these so much. There's the pumpkin truck. There's the scarecrow. And the farmhouse. So yeah, I know for sure that I'm missing, like when I was there at the end of July or middle of July, there was one that she didn't have that had already come out, and then I want to say there's been at least one more that came out since then, maybe 2 more. I do follow them on Instagram, but you know how Instagram is. Sometimes you don't see posts. So it was funny, as we were going through all of, she had this little container full of patterns like this, and we're looking through them, and I'm like on Instagram, like, okay, do we have that one? And she's like, yep, okay, got it. And I'm like, do we have this one? And she's like, looking, yep, got it. So it was really fun to look through those. And I'll go back at some point. Like I said, I'm not starting any of these anytime soon. I just kind of wanted to I knew I wanted to do this one eventually, whether I do it next year or 20 years from now, I don't care. I just want to have them. I'll collect the rest when I get to it, when I think of it, or when I go visit them again. And you know, if it comes to the point where I just want to complete the collection, I'll just have her order them for me. She said that was totally doable. So yeah, so that's Witchery Stitchery. If you're in the area, it's in Mount Horeb. Cross the street when you're done and go get a hard cider at Brick's Cidery. What else is around there? There's some great things. Yeah, so really cute. I love Mount Horeb. It's such a cute town. Okay, so that is my stitching acquisitions. I have a few knitting acquisitions. The first one I'll show you, I talked about last time, and everyone should have received this. This is the These Happy Golden Years club from A Homespun House. This was the Little House, like the Little House book series. She was doing a colorway for each of the books, and I ordered the sock set for These Happy Golden Years, and this is a 75-25 merino and nylon. Wow, that's a lot of yards. Oh, duh, because it's a sock set. Sorry. I'm looking at the thing at the tag for the first time. I'm like, 564 yards? That's like a lace weight. Well, of course she's putting, it's 100 gram and a 20 gram. Oh my word. So this is the sock set, These Happy Golden Years. It's very beautiful, very bright I love that bright pink. I'm not a huge pink person, but every so often it's kind of fun to knit with something out of your wheelhouse. And if I have to knit with pink, I like the really punchy pink. Not so much of like a bubblegum. I mean, this kind of has a light pink base, but because of the speckles, I love it anyway. So yeah, so this is These Happy Golden Years. I did get the charm for that one too, but it actually turns out it's a charm I already received in a different one of the clubs. So not sure if I'm gonna keep it, or I don't know, maybe I'll include it in a giveaway. Who knows? It's Pa's Fiddle. And it's funny because I remember there was a viewer who commented the last time I got Pa's Fiddle, which was months and months ago, like months and months and months ago, maybe a year ago, who knows? And they were like, where can I get that? I need that Progress Keeper. And I'm like, sorry, these are custom, these are exclusive to these clubs, and now I have two. So who knows, maybe I'll do a giveaway. I don't know. So yeah, that one was super fun. I got that in the mail. And then I ordered, so I talked about the Bumblebee Acres last update, and I managed to snag a Gathering Eggs sock set. I absolutely loved this when I saw it, and I am so excited. It's even better than I expected it to be. So this is on their Coquette sock base again, the 75% superwash Corriedale and 25% nylon. Absolutely love it. And then it comes with that little gold mini skein. You can see there's a little bit of like a grayish blue, the brown, so pretty and subtle. I absolutely love it. And then because the bumblebees are amazing people, they included this project bag for me because so the update happened, I remember this so clearly, the update happened on July 8th, and my birthday was July 10th. I turned 32. And so I was so excited because I was using some birthday money. I was gifted some birthday money from a couple family members, and I used some of it on this sock set, and it was like my birthday present to myself. And then I get the package a couple weeks later, and look what was in there with a note that said happy birthday. So yeah, this is from Hannah Lou Designs. I did mention these bags at the beginning of the episode because I managed to get one in their fall update. I'm so excited. Hannah is, so I've known Hannah and I've known the Bee family since I was in grade school. We all went to the same grade school, which is so absolutely crazy that in adulthood, I now am like connected back with them. It's just, life is crazy, right? I mean, I don't live that far from home, but we're all in this like knitting world and the yarn dyeing and it's just like, yeah, I think it's really cool. But so Hannah is Sam Bee's, so she's one of the bumblebees, Sam Bee's best friend, and she does all these amazing project bags and they sell them on their site. I'm not sure if Hannah sells them on her own site or if it's just through the bees right now. I mean, go follow, I think, yeah, at hannah.lou.designs. So that's her Instagram. So go follow her and you'll be able to just keep updated with when she's doing new bags, either for the bees or on her own. But yeah, I love the veggie theme. We have our garden in the back. We just moved to this house in January, so this is the first summer we've had like a legit garden, and it's been so fun to go out and pick veggies and just such a rewarding experience. So this was like the perfect theme. And it was just so nice that it came as a surprise. And I can't wait to show you the one and the yarn that I got from this last update. So excited. Okay, so the last thing I'm gonna show you is another birthday present that came from my best friend Caitlin. So Caitlin and I also grew up together. I've known her since first grade. We became best friends in high school and then have stayed close throughout the years. And she now lives in Virginia, just outside of DC, and her husband both live in DC. So I don't get to see them that often, but she is also a knitter, so she understands my obsession. And she sent me these from, I don't think she sent them from Iceland, but they are from Iceland, which is so cool. So this is I think 100%, yep, 100% non-superwash merino wool. And it's this really beautiful bluish gray color. It's coming up really gray on the screen, but it does have like a tinge of blue in real life. And it's a fingering weight, 400 meters. So that's going to be a little bit more, 420-ish yards, I think. Again, don't quote me. And then she also sent, of course, some Let Lopi. So this is, you know, your traditional 100% wool, pure new wool, it says, and they are 50 gram hanks, 109 yards. So these are worsted weight, of course. I don't know why I knew that the Let Lopi was worsted weight, but yeah. So yeah, she sent me these. She knows that blue is my favorite color, and she said that her and her husband, he picked out one of them and she picked out the other one. So I don't know who picked out what, but I love them. This blue color is so pretty. Not sure what I'm gonna make. It definitely has to be the right project for a crunchier yarn like this. I am not opposed to more rustic yarns, but I definitely want to find, like, I don't think I'd be able to wear it in a cowl, but I might be able to find, what would be really fun would be doing some color work, like a color work hat or something like that, getting another color of the Let Lopi and doing a color work hat, because of course color work is, Lopi is supposed to be like, you know, the yarn to use for color work, like traditionally, and just, yeah. So that would be really fun. But I'm not sure. Who knows? I have lots of time to figure it out, and I have lots of other yarn to use in the meantime. So yeah, that is pretty much it from acquisitions and works in progress and finished objects. And now, yeah, it's been about an hour. I'm so happy I had a chance to sit down with you today. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing and liking the video. If you haven't yet, be sure to do that. If you are a longtime viewer, thank you so much for coming back. You guys know how much I appreciate each and every one of you. And if you are a new viewer, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode. And if you did, like I said, you can subscribe, like the video, go back and watch earlier videos if you'd like. Don't hold anything against me from really early episodes. I cringe thinking about some of those, but that's okay. And yeah, I hope to be back with you guys again very soon. And in the meantime, do things that make your heart happy. Be kind to one another. I will be doing the same. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.